Do subscribe to Bookstream YouTube channel to receive more updates on this audiobook. Click the bell icon to receive updates on latest book reviews. No More, No Less. Author Sandesh Shanmugam. Chapter 7. Biology of Life. The complexity of life is immense and varies beyond one's comparison. Even their mere count or survey will take lots of patience and time on this faster-paced world. Many biologists spend almost their lifetime in understanding the intrinsic behavior of these species. There was a time where kings and queens invested their wealth for the understanding and discovery in new technology and had a passion for collecting various beings who decorated them on their roofs of palace for grandeur. Few had the courage to hunt the animals, and others took it as a gift from the neighboring countries and kings. The habit of collection is still present and can be seen in entomologists across the globe. Entomologists are those people who are interested in studying the insects. Even the famous Charles Darwin himself collected vast samples of insects and studied their morphologies. The varieties of one single species itself are innumerable. Like, for examples, there are more than 330 varieties of hummingbirds. The same holds true for other species. This multitude in diversity of species is the result of the external living environment. Nature nurtures and designs the species through a process of natural selection. There are estimates of around 100 million or more life forms living on this rare planet. During his lifetime, Charles Darwin collected lots and lots of rare flora and fauna and also studied the breeding process involved in pigeons, horses, and dogs. The journey from Europe to Galapagos Island in Brazil is formidable during his time. Lots of those collections are still present in the Museum of Natural History in United Kingdom. He was considered to be a non-believer of God, and on Sundays he dropped his wife Emma and kids to the front door of the church, where he used to go for a long walk and stand outside rather than attending prayers in the cathedrals. He even feared of publishing the book The Origin of Species due to the fear of religious outrage. The discussion of biology was amazing, and his skill of writing too was astounding. He used to write letters to various geologists, biologists across the world. The creation of the life form, according to him, took various paths from the same origin and progressed in time due to multiple factors. Few questions were dawned on him, like why are there varieties of same species across the continents? What made them to travel and survive the journey in such a long distance? Back then, there was no such evidence to fuel the theory which we now know as the continental drift theory. The theory quotes that initially there was a single continent due to the rock formation below the seabed and its volcanic activity. The continents were separated. By seeing this change, which fueled the variations in life, Darwin wondered how long it took for these species to form and what might be the age of Earth. Many geologists took a rough estimate and was often debated of the geological layers involved in rock formation. Although the discovery happened in the later part of the century with an altogether different field of science which today formed a new branch of study called nuclear physics. By understanding the nature of strong nuclear element uranium, one can estimate the time it took for C-24, C-14 isotope and its decay, which was studied by Marie Curie. Based on the decay of uranium isotopes, one can estimate the age of an object or a fossil. This is a modern technique for measuring the age of a substance unearthed and excavated from various geological locations. It's called as carbon dating. After many decades on his travel to Brazilian island, Darwin received a transcript from another person who said to had a vision about the natural selection. He shared his idea and had correspondence with Darwin for a few years. This effort by the Indonesian Alfred Russel Wallace provoked Darwin to write the book Theory of Evolution, which became a hotcake for many and sold in record numbers during its first edition. There was indeed a revolt by many religious thinkers who condemned the idea of natural evolutionary design and supported the divine presence in all the species. Today, all the concepts in his history has practical relevance. We have seen the effect of research happening in the field of biotechnology, nanotechnology, cloning research and genetic engineering. The achievements in biology are so overwhelming that in the last century we started to understand the intricate patterns involved in speciation. The discovery of DNA and its application is used in identifying species' maternal and paternal source. Lots of research is happening wherein typical bacteria are cultured to produce biodiesel. Extracellular matrix, a layer of the skin responsible for the formation of new cells and tissues, are used in the creation of healthy vital organs. This in future might reduce the risk of death due to the lack of organ donor. Stem cell research is being developed to cultivate complex tissues and is used to grow multitude of necessary components. Few researchers go with nature and animals to find solution. Looking at the species like salamander, one used to think, why is it not possible for us humans to regenerate limbs? Darwin had the thought that why does there is no evidence of a species which bridges the gap between two animal kingdoms? We have fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. According to Darwin, there is a transition seen in these domains. He didn't had enough evidence to support the theory, but one day that evidence came to life at an limestone quarry. They unearthed a fossilized imprint of a species which resembled that of a bird and had claws on its feather with a beak. Filled with pointy teeth resembling that of a reptile, this species is today known to us as Archaeopteryx, is considered as the ancestor for the birds and is the missing link between the reptiles and birds. This discovery fueled and supported the Darwinian evolution. A question may arise, what about the complex structures like the design of an eye? There is much difference between the design and the designoid objects, mentions Sir Richard Dawkins during his famous Christmas lecture by Royal Institution London in the year 1991. The inception of these lectures was started by Sir Michael Faraday back in his days, where he used to give talks on electromagnetism. It has become a tradition ever since, as these lectures are available and is accessed for the general public. The researchers, scientists expose their field of study to spark and ignite the minds of fellow human beings to involve and explore with them the science of curiosity. The symbiotic existence is present everywhere today and is an efficient process of co-evolution. It can be seen from marine life to that of insects due to our impact on ecology and its destruction with our so-called carbon inputs. A phenomenon is occurring frequently across the world where the arch rivals are turning into friends and few are indeed living and leading their life coexisting in the animal kingdom. Even the epigenetics will impact the life of these species, says Dr. Bruce H. Lipton in his book Biology of Belief. Being a cell biologist, he has done various research on the field of cell biology. While extracting the stem cells and converting it into a desired tissue or muscles, he noticed that it was not the mere nutrients but the environment which decided the physiology of a cell in the culture. The biological imprints, not entirely specific or created for us as the intellectual species, but exists in almost all the species, explains in the famous documentary Wonders of Life by physicist Professor Brian Cox. We are capable of designing the objects through our will, which can be easily differentiated with that of nature. The construction from the design takes various effort and resources from multiple minds. The nature's way is different. The changes in the environment due to variations in the planetary, terrestrial and marine ends creates a new platform and challenges the species to adapt on these changes. Some features on our intelligence can be seen in our close ape cousins chimpanzees. The function of our cells itself is diverse in nature, wherein some perform the role of human identification, few on the digestion of complex nutrients, to the one for organic chemical purification of blood and water. Lots of historians and paleontologists have unearthed many secrets through historical excavations and findings. The species which resist to change or to adapt will be exterminated by the nature. The findings of such species are rarer among other findings. Certain findings like amniotes near the colder, high altitude mountains to that of trilobites near the treacherous mines are often debated on the grounds of evolution. We all need to accept these life forms, wonder about their coexistence, and try to impact knowledge on its preservation and storage for future generation. Thank you for listening to this audio recording. Do subscribe to Bookstream YouTube channel to receive latest updates on this audiobook. Click the bell icon to receive updates on other book reviews. Thank you.